Attention.
Here we go.
Can I persuade you to join us for a drink? It's a tradition.
Here, here.
Jar Jar, homie, my main man, quickly. Before the Separatists attack, get into the escape pod.
Hey! This is escape, then we're the pod.
Welcome back to Star Wars Escape Pod, and we are approaching the end of the Skywalker saga with Bogan's Advocate, The Last Jedi. For those of you who are new, we'll kind of dive into what that is in a few moments. We got a bit of news to talk about today, and we have a lot of returning and familiar voices, of course, that we will introduce, or reintroduce, I should say, in a moment. So, without further ado, we got Star Wars news coming up next. Let's get into it.
Another happy landing.
Our target is a syndicate leader. He is associated with several criminal organizations. And proficient with a laser sword.
The Empire tried to kill me. Their betrayal demands consequence. And that consequence requires a weapon. Together, we can destroy the Empire.
He wants to fight as allies.
The Empire may be our common enemy, but Maul will never be our ally.
We need to find him, whatever it takes.
This is escalating out of our hands. The Empire will want answers.
The Empire will lock this planet down.
Jedi, where is Maul? I'm right here. Let us have our revenge.
We're not gonna take out the whole Empire.
All right, Maul Shadow Lord coming to Disney Plus in just a matter of days or whatever. Whenever this when this episode launches, I think the show might already be out by the time we drop this podcast episode. So,
boy, that first episode was great. How about that?
Amazing. Well, welcome back.
The whole season of Acolyte.
Yeah. Welcome back to our co-host Blake. Hello, sir.
Hey, good to be back. And what a way to start. I am very hyped for this now.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
you getting Clone Wars vibes?
I am. You know, there's something to note, and I've said this before, but something to note about the editors at Lucasfilm Animation. The trailers always they're so good. Every time. Like ever since like season 2 of the Clone Wars, the trailer have always had me hyped.
It's knocked it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it always the same guy?
I have no idea.
I'm kind of curious now.
No idea, but yeah.
Just the trailer.
Hey, one guy made the whole show. Oh, the trailer.
Trailer. Yeah. Whoever's their editor, it's
for the last
props
20 years. When did Clone Wars come
out? 2008. So
almost.
Yeah, a while ago. Yeah. Well, welcome back to our other co-host Kirk. It's been a couple sessions, I think. Yeah, been a couple weeks. Yeah, a couple minutes.
I only appear on the greatest of episodes, so this is one of them, I guess.
It's gonna be a good one.
Yeah. For those of you at home, we have not told them what this one's about.
No, I got a message being like, "Are you on today? This is going to be the best evaluation of any Star Wars medium that's ever existed." So I'm like, I can't pass that down.
That's right.
And I'm itching to find out what we're talking about.
Oh man, awesome! All right, and big welcome back to Dan. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Awesome. We've got Matt with us as well. Hey, there he is. All right, and last but not least, we've got Darian, the man Darian himself.
Sakuragar, boyos.
Hello.
Chut chut, sir.
Chut. And so I think Darian, what do you think about Maul now that we've had two trailers? The latest one only having come out about 3 days ago, as of the time of this recording. What are your thoughts? What are you looking forward to? Anything that you spotted in the most recent trailer that you're really hyped for?
I'm loving that we're getting more of the Zabrak crew, and I think they're going to be just pure havoc. I'm also impressed with the level of detail in the backgrounds of these shots. Clone Wars has always kind of had the background be smooth and simple, whereas watching this trailer, it's like, no, everything has got a ton of detail. It's gritty, it's dark, you got different textures all over the place. They're really nailing it out of the park, and I'm looking forward to watching a season of Havoc.
Excellent.
I feel like, Josh, that was your complaint about Rebels.
All
the textures and everything are very simple and
I found it, and it is, I found Rebels was artistically on purpose. It was done a certain way, to recreate this Ralph McQuarrie essence.
Oh right,
and
because it was very kind of paintish, right?
Very pastelly, pastelly, but gritty is not how I would describe it at all. Whereas like this show definitely feels like the Clone Wars, but it has a bit of an artistic flair on top of it, which almost the backgrounds all look like they've had this almost like this watery sort of paint over in a way. It's interesting. It's a very I don't know. It's
the shot.
It's cool.
Shot at 103, like with the blaster going off, like it looks like it just looks like this like amazing like sketch, like watercolor detail, like you said. Like it looks so good. Yeah, but it looks new.
Yeah,
but also like in line with like it looks like brand new, but it also looks like in terms of like artistically, but then it also looks like it's stemmed from like it's familiar. It's like it's familiar from the Clone Wars style, even going back
for sure
to 2008.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Maybe closer towards Bad Batch then, you think?
Yeah.
I think that and I think they've leveled up. I think this is it's taken that essence that we're familiar with, but also added to the artistic side, and they're trying to make it unique in its own way. The artistic design and the color scheme, the lighting, it all reflects the world of Darth Maul, and I think that's really, really, intentional, of course, but it's cool. And a lot of this show almost looks to be taking place in these underworld environments. Like we're talking about Maul, the Shadow Lord, the guy who starts Crimson Dawn. So. I mean, there's a story there, and I'm stoked for it. I'm really excited.
If he doesn't turn that Jedi into Darth Talon, I'm going to be very upset.
Well, it looks like there's going to be 2 Jedi Padawans going along for the ride, and there's the pink Twi'lek, and then the turtle-looking guy. I believe he's a Jedi. I think I thought I saw him holding a lightsaber on the poster, but I could be wrong. But I think he's a Jedi.
I love at the start of the trailer when like Maul sliced his lightsaber to the right, and then like it appeared behind the Lucasfilm
that was
logo.
Cool.
So good.
So sick.
So sick. Yeah, what are you looking forward to about this, Matt?
Well, same kind of thing. I'm echoing you guys with right off the bat, the lighting of it looks amazing. I'm so excited for this. It's so good. It looks so good. Again, like the editing, the grittiness of the story, and I think again, it seems like because towards the end of Bad Batch, like the production value was getting better.
It was getting
like a little
higher, really high. By the end, it was like quite cinematic.
Yeah,
especially towards the last few episodes, I was getting really up there, and I think this is continuing that level, which is like, wow, finally,
yeah. You have a background with the arts, with the with painting and the hands-on arts, I guess. What would you have to say about the look of like the backgrounds and kind of the flair that they have on that now?
I think, the production design looks on point, and I think they're paying attention to the composition. Like, it's the composition of the shots along with the choreography of like them fighting, for example. Like, it's just on point. I'm so impressed with this team, and the production design is like on point.
Yeah.
I was like, well done. I'm so excited.
Awesome.
Trailer is better than the whole season of Acolyte, so it's pretty amazing.
Carrick, what about you, man? What's what are you looking forward to about Maul?
I think I'm just looking forward to just a Maul story. I think it's in something everyone's been craving for ages, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing where they take his character and I'm just looking forward to it. And I'm also just looking forward to sitting in like a dark room and watching this on like an OLED TV. I think it's just going to look so good. I feel like it's one of those shows you can take like so many of the frames and use as a wallpaper. Yeah, need to get that cinematic perfection. So, in summary, I'm looking forward to this show because I am looking forward to sitting in a dark room by myself. So that sums it up.
Become the real Shadow Lord.
Yeah. Dan, what'd you think about the music in this trailer? I mean, obviously Duel of Fates gets us all very excited, but what does it bring you back to those days in the theater watching Phantom Menace, or like, what keeps you pumped about this show?
Yeah, I think everything looks like it's on point. Like, visually it looks good. Darth Maul is always a great character. I'm always happy to see more of him. But I don't really have anything more to add than what everybody else has said. Just I'm excited for it.
I love the shot where he like throws his lightsaber and slices like an ATST or something. Like, was that an ATST? Like a full size? Man, that was awesome. Like,
no, it's the Clone War version of the ATST.
Right. Yeah. Big Walker. Oh man,
you know what it reminded me of? Do you ever play the original Battlefront 2?
Yeah.
So in that one, when you do the hero battles, you can be Darth Maul. So when he throws his saber, it's like twice as big as everyone else's. It's like this massive radius.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's just like, I think we're gonna see moments in this show that people have fantasized about this character in just legends and in books and in
finally filling the gap around Solo.
Yeah, and also just seeing cool awesomeness about this guy. You know,
are we gonna see it? Probably not this season, but do you think if it progresses, we'll get something close to what's going on, the background around Solo? Because it'd be neat to see.
Oh yeah, I think so. I think
tie into.
I feel like I forget if we Kira.
Kira.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah, I feel like we've had conversations about this show being potentially made better with time jumps between the seasons, so I'm wondering if they will do that or not, but I'd be really happy if they did. Okay, so that's Maul Shadow Lord, everybody, so go and check that out on Disney Plus. The next little piece of news here is one other thing, we've seen the Inquisitors pop up in that trailer, so cool to see Merrick from the Ahsoka show. He's coming in.
That's the one with the beak.
Yep. That's the knight, like sort of the rusty knight guy.
Oh, that's from the. I thought that one was from the.
He's from the Ahsoka show.
Ahsoka live action show.
Yeah.
Okay. Because wasn't the one with the beak? Doesn't he show up in the?
Yes, in the Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, that 3D Ahsoka show.
Tales of the Jedi. He was also in Tales of the Empire as a cameo. Beak Boy, 11th brother.
It's a Plague Master.
Yeah. So 11th brother, and then Marok is, I guess, theorized to be, like another.
His name is
number.
Maraka.
Merrick or Marok, one of the two.
Maracas.
Yeah.
Maracas. Yeah.
You can always hear him coming.
Maracas.
So spoiler, he lives, but kind of cool. Cool design for characters showing up again, but. Okay, next piece of news, Star Wars First Assault, a game that nearly came out 13 years ago. As revealed by Time Extension, Star Wars First Assault is currently up and running online. For those unfamiliar with the game, First Assault was a multiplayer-focused Star Wars game that was canceled just months before its scheduled launch, developed by LucasArts. When it was LucasArts. The game was intended for PS3 and Xbox 360, so we're going back like almost 3 generations of gaming now. Footage of the game running on Xbox Live leaked in 2015, and now 13 years later, the game has been revived. and you can check out
13 years later.
I feel like somebody should leak that one. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The thing is, I think that one was nowhere near completion, whereas this one clearly was.
I find it ironic that it's by a studio called Time Extension.
Yeah. So yeah, there's footage online, and it does look a lot like Battlefront, but with a more Call of Duty element to it. Very much so. Like if you look at players playing the game, you would instantly think this is just Star Wars Call of Duty. But this is Rebels
as opposed to Battlefront.
Yeah, like 100%. Like you're getting the reloading and the I don't know. Like it's kind of hard to describe. Like unless you've played Call of Duty, like it's hard to you just watch it and you're like, that's Call of Duty. Like they've tried to really kind of emulate that FPS sort of gritty first-person shooter multiplayer experience. Scout troopers and rebels fighting each other. So yeah, it's cool. So yeah, you can apparently play it as a pirated version online. So
didn't hear it from us.
Yeah, didn't hear it here.
Not condoned.
Wouldn't know what it plays like. But yeah, it's that is I believe all the news that I've got. And in other news though, like Kirk, you mentioned that you're really looking forward to Starfighter now because of a recent Ryan Gosling space movie that you just saw.
Yeah, I just saw Project Hail Mary about a week or so ago. What's the date now? But anyway, just before it's come out, and I loved it. I thought I can easily tell it's going to be my favorite movie of this year, and probably one of my favorite movies of the last like 5-10 years, I reckon. I think it's like just made for everyone. Ryan Gosling's so good, and it makes me very excited for Starfighter. I'm not too sure about how he's going to work with the director, because I know the Miller brothers did. I actually could be wrong here, but I think the Miller brothers did Hail Mary, and they were the ones that were originally directing Solo. But
I thought I recognized that name.
I think so. I should have checked this before I started blurting out all this information.
Because I mean, they were comedians, they're comedy directors, then, right?
Yeah. Phil Lord and Chris. Phil Lord and Chris Miller. So maybe they're not brothers. I should definitely look and make sure that was correct. But anyway, I love the movie. I thought it was absolutely awesome, and I'm really keen to see what Ryan Gosling is going to do in a Star Wars movie. He has like so much freaking charisma and in space, and his like physical humor and all, as well as his like just the way he delivers dialogue, is something that I think it's going to bring Star Wars back to appealing to so many people. I'm very excited for it, and I'm looking forward to whenever it's going to come out. Which is it next year, a year after? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's next year, 2027. So it'll be releasing the same year as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of A New Hope.
Yeah. Okay. So Chris Miller he directed 21 Jump Street and 22 Jump Street, like the Lego movie, and he was also on board with Solo. But like I think they just were doing so much ad-lib stuff on set, plus a ton of other reasons why they got kicked off it and the Ron Howard got brought in. But it worked so well in this movie. It really did. And I think if Ryan Gosling's able to bring a pretty similar performance to what he's going to do in Starfighter, especially like I think as the photos we've seen so far, he's like interacting with a kid throughout the story. And there's like not too many spoilers for Hail Mary, but there is some interaction there as well. And I think it's really good, and it plays off really well. So I gave the movie almost like a 9 or 10 out of 10. So I'm very high marks, and I'm not that the actor is just going to solve all the problems in a Star Wars movie.
I don't recognize that rating system. We only do Pablo points and previews.
Oh, that's right. Sorry. So a 9 or a 10 out of 10 translates to a 2.5 Pablo points to right. 3 out of 3 Pablo points.
It's pretty good. I gotta check this out.
So, I really loved it. I'm gonna go see it again. In fact, 20 minutes into the movie, this guy like sitting next to me. Actually, he was a mate of mine. He leant over. He's like, "Oh, Kirk, are you gonna go see this again?" I'm like, "Yep."
Really? Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
High praises.
Double showing. It's got to be good.
Yeah, I'm definitely giving it high praise. I just liked it, so I hope no one goes in and is disappointed by that.
Do you want to drop your X or Twitter handle here so people can complain to you and they don't like it?
Yeah.
Oh, they could probably find me somewhere. But
Leave it on his YouTube channel.
Yeah. Link is in the description box below, everybody. Designed by
Kirk. Definitely find me now. They could definitely find me. They could definitely find me now. Dude, but I'll fight anybody on my opinion of this movie. I think it was awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller both did Spider-Verse as well.
Ah, that's right. Yes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
These guys are on point.
Both.
I think both, right? Yeah, the whole series.
Yeah.
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 Right. Well, I like 21 Jump Street.
You like Lego movie?
that I think is my favorite movie that they've ever done.
It's a very good movie.
It's 21 and 22 Jump Street. Those are
What about the Lego movie?
I don't know. I enjoyed them, but like I don't know. I wasn't as taken by it as other people. Yeah, the Lego movie and
wait, there's a second movie?
Yeah, what do you mean by them?
Oh, there is.
There's two. There's it's a duology, and then they also had a Lego Batman movie. They also did a Lego Ninjago movie, but I don't know if they were the ones that did those ones. So don't quote me on that. But
no, they just did the two main Lego movies.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like they were good. Not anything to say badly about them or anything, but it was like
they did get kicked off Solo.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah,
Solo,
like Solo. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, but whatever. It's
the I have to say but the movie's not all like comedy like 21 Jump Street. Like it definitely hits these like low moments but equally just as high as well, which is why I think that's what's just going to be needed in Starfighter. I reckon it's just going to be some kind of movie that we haven't really seen in Star Wars before, and I have a feeling some people are going to hate it because of that, but we'll see.
Interesting. Okay.
Well, the sidekick robot thing?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. What wasn't I'm not sure exactly. There's a couple of like, I guess, sidekick characters. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's actually not that many characters in this whole movie. There's probably like maybe less than 15 speaking roles, I'd say. Like it's really like 90% of the movie is Ryan Gosling pretty much. So I'm obviously man crushing on Ryan Gosling a little bit. So maybe that's why I'm looking forward to Starfighter.
You, sir, are gonna have a good year next year when he's splashed all over your Star Wars movies.
Yeah. Well, when you put it like that, that's a little concerning.
I also highly recommend the book if anyone wants to read the Project Hail Mary book. It's a really good book.
Yes, yeah. That's that I was in a meeting earlier today at work, and somebody else said that. They said the book was like kind of a favorite of theirs. It's
good to know.
Yeah,
I think I made the mistake of like I've just started reading the book after I watched the movie, and I feel like I should have read the book first, but I also really enjoyed watching the movie too. But the book's like I'm only like 3 chapters in, and it's great. So.
Oh, awesome. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Podcast over. Well done, guys.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We can go home. Yeah.
That was the potatoes, and we got to get to the meat.
Nice.
All right. So let's see here. A quick mention to our friends.
Don't forget to leave a review. That would make even Master Yoda proud.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, that's a great suggestion. Leave us a review. But also a quick mention to our friends at Orbit Key. They got even more Disney stuff coming out to their Disney collection, and we do them the favor of talking about it. So. They have phone wrist straps and essential bags and pouches and travel sling bags, and they sent us some Toy Story stuff, and we took a look, and it's fantastic. We're big fans of them because of the Star Wars lineup that they did, which was excellent, and I think we were all rocking one of these Star Wars key organizers up here.
My pocket right now.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, no jingling or sharp stabby keys in your pocket, right? Because that's the worst. So yeah, I mean, go and check it out. Links in the description. All right. Without further ado, let's dive into Bogan's Advocates, shall we?
Let's do it.
All right.
This is where the fun begins.
Woo! Yes.
Mind trickster.
All right, so Bogan's Advocate. We've been playing this game for a few weeks now. Would you care to explain how it works?
Sure. So it's a kind of a play on Devil's Advocate. So we're going through the 9 Star Wars films, and whatever our usual opinion is, we're trying to look at it from the opposite side, try to get a diversified perspective on each movie.
Very good. And why don't you kick us off? What movie are we inspecting today, and what's your opinion? Your real opinion.
We're going straight into it. Eh?
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're going straight in.
Well, probably want to go around the room a bit first, but
yeah, we'll go around
today.
The room, yeah.
We are talking about The Last Jedi.
All right.
So this is going to be a more intense episode, I'm suspecting, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Where are you coming from on this one?
This is going to be the first one that I will take I have a negative opinion of.
Okay.
Just and it's mainly like, I guess, execution directorially and like pacing issues that really just make it really challenging for me. So I'm going to have to talk about positive things today.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. Darian, where are you coming from on this one?
I'm kind of neutral on this one. There's things I like and there's things I hate. So I figure I'll fill out the gap of wherever people didn't land.
Okay. All right.
So make him Mandalore.
Yeah. So you're
he
really
is a Mandarian.
so you're really, like, your genuine opinion is kind of in the middle on this one?
Yeah, I think I've only watched it twice, like the other sequel trilogy movies, but I don't know. Like, I loved it the first time I saw it in the theater, and I went back to the theater immediately after and just watched it a second run. And then I was like, oh, I kind of hate this movie, actually. And just over time, it's like, I don't know how I feel.
Sounds like it might have been worth rewatching before this episode.
I did rewatch it, actually.
Oh, and you ended up with the same opinion.
It's pretty equal on things that are awesome and terrible in it. So
no, that's fair. There's definitely is some really cool stuff.
Okay, so I guess if you were to pick a side on this, are you gonna come at it from an angle of praising for the positive things, or are you gonna take?
He said he's gonna take whichever side has less people.
Less people. Okay. I guess. Okay, we'll roll with that then. So you're gonna be
talking positive
because you truly dislike this. Okay.
How about truly dislike? That's a bit harsh.
All right, Matt.
I have some issues.
Yeah.
Leave it at that.
All right, fair enough. Okay, we'll see what the balance is. Matt, where are you coming from on this one?
When it came out, just like with Force Awakens, I was okay with it. I was willing to overlook. I liked it. It was okay. I was okay. I'm going with it. Then the second time around was so rough. I was trying so hard to go through and trying so hard, and I was like, yeah, it's horrible.
I think there's so many people that probably share your opinion. You know, because when you walk into
flashbacks to people talking about Phantom Menace,
it's like walking into the Star Wars movie and you got like the blinders on with like drooling at the fact that they'll get the opening crawl and the main theme is like new Star Wars movie, give it to me now.
The crowd,
and then after you see it, you're like, wait a minute, what? And then you go back again, you're like, oh man. All right.
Yeah, even my kids are like, "Well, Dad, why are you watching that?" No, I'm like, turn it off.
All right, so you're gonna come at this one from a positive angle then, because you dislike this movie.
And when it came out, I liked it. Now I do not like it.
Okay, so because you don't like it now, like, you're coming at it from a positive angle then for Bogan's Advocate?
Oh, gotcha. Yes, I'll come at it as a positive.
Okay, got it.
It's hard to suss out people's answers.
You'll have to tap into your first viewing and try and source some things there to say. Kirk, what about you, man?
You know what? This is funny. This is, I think, when it came out in 2017, sorry. The Last Jedi was probably the movie I've watched the most amount of times when it was in its theatrical window out of any other movie in the last like 15 years, I reckon. I think I saw it like 7 or 8 times.
Wow.
In theaters. And looking back on it, I could not give you a single reason why that was the case.
You're just excited about Star Wars, man.
The hype was at its peak when that one came out.
I was so the marketing was incredible for it, like all the red posters. I thought the trailers were awesome. Just knowing that it was going to be like the darker Star Wars movie and like it's the middle one. And I was and the first few times, I really enjoyed it off memory. And then I think
somewhere around the 6th or 7th viewing.
somewhere around the 6th or 7th viewing, I was like, okay. And when the other opinions like were starting to come out, and I was just talking it with more people, that's when I was like, okay, hang on a second. And then I don't think I've actually watched it since then. Like, I don't think I've actually sat down and watched the entire movie since 2017, I'd say, or maybe like early 2018 when it was still out in theaters. I've definitely gone back and watched moments on like YouTube and like skimmed through on Disney Plus and things like that. But it's I don't know, no idea why I watched it that many times. Couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I mean, you're right though. The marketing was huge on this one.
No, I don't think I saw it that many times, Kirk. But you're not alone. I think I saw it 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I think I saw it about 3 times. Well, yeah,
I saw it 3 or 4 times too.
Yeah. All right, Dan.
Like Rise of Skywalker, I saw twice.
Yeah.
The second time I was like, I was forced to see it for the first time I saw it. And first time, because the second time I was in like an IMAX theater, so I thought, okay, maybe the movie's a bit different. But yeah, so it definitely wasn't just Star Wars fever.
I got a funny story to share about the last one, but yeah. So
somehow Bob Iger returned.
So you did.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Dan, where are you coming at this movie from?
So when I first saw it in the theater, I, like everybody else, I loved it. And then I rewatched it today, and given time, it was a little rough to sit through today. Like, I've definitely found things that bothered me more than they did the first couple times I've seen it. So I still generally like it, so I'll come at it from a negative point of view.
Okay, so you're coming at it from a negative point of view, but
I'll say negative things about it because I still like it more than I hate it.
Okay, all right.
It's above 50%.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so we got how many? So we got 2, you and
I'm positive.
You're positive. So you and Dan coming at it from a positive angle.
No, he's negative because he said he was above 50%.
Negative, right? Okay, so wait, we just have one positive then?
No, Kirk.
It's me. I'm the positive.
Kirk and Darian is undecided, and Matt is also can be talking positive.
So wait, is the rule is if you liked it, you have to be negative about it, and if you're negative about it, you have to. It's the opposite.
Right. That's right.
This is not confusing at all. That's why we're discussing it live on the air.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So my opinion on this movie is the first time round, I mean, leading up to the movie itself, I thought, man, this is going to be a good movie, you know? And then I saw it and I was like, you know what? I liked it better than The Force Awakens, I think, but I still was a little like, okay, yeah, this trilogy is just not headed in the direction that I was hoping. And
it was a pretty big shift.
I think it was like, that was the make it or break it, because now it's like, dude, trilogy's done. You know, like we only got one more to cap it off. And what are they going to do to cap it off, right? Because like they literally capped off their main guy, like their main villain, you know? And their main guy. So it was like, okay, I'm curious about the last one, but then all that news about Colin Trevorrow and, the script was getting rewrites. And that's a whole nother thing. But I mean, as far as this movie is concerned, I'm kind of coming from it from a negative angle. So I'm going to try and find the positive in the movie. So are we, so how many people do we have positive now and negatives?
I think that if Darian is from the positive talking negative, I think we'll be 3-3.
Okay. Sounds good. Okay.
I can be neutral. I can say a bit of both.
Why don't we? I haven't done this.
It's not the point of this, Kurt.
You have to pick a side. I
was just watching. I can't see him. I was just watching the cogs turn for a second. We're like, no, this does not compute.
I'm gonna do something I haven't done in previous Bogans advocates for whatever reason. But we'll just take a quick listen to the trailer, just to kind of get that sense of the hype leading into this. Because I feel like for this one, I don't know why, but this one, the lead up into the film, I think was just so different than kind of the feeling that people had walking out of the film. But I don't know. I feel like it's relevant to play. So let's just take a quick listen.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power. And beyond that, something truly special.
Something inside me has always been there. But now it's awake. And I need help.
I've seen this raw strength only once before. It didn't scare me enough then. It does now.
Let the past die. Kill it. If you have to. That's the only way to become what you were meant to be.
We are the spark that'll light the fire that'll burn the First Order down. Come on! This is not going to go the way you think. Fulfill your destiny.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Great trailer. I mean, like
they always do a good job.
They always do a great job.
Such a good trailer.
Yeah.
Let's watch it right now.
Kirk's like, I've changed my mind.
Switching sides.
The music too. Yeah. The
Yeah.
Yeah, they nailed it.
The trailer is different to my movie opinion. So there you go.
Fair enough.
There's two different mediums.
All right. So
the trailer's a bit misleading though, because like it's the same lines as the movie, but the way Luke delivers his lines in the trailer
It's all
is
split up.
totally different
Chopped, yeah.
expression.
Yeah.
Well, even the way he says them though, like he sounds angry. This is not the way it's gonna go the way you think. Whereas in the movie, he sounds sad
and kind of whiny.
Right.
That's a whole nother season.
That's a whole nother season. Yeah. Yeah, so I think as trailers go, sometimes they get voice lines from some of the actors to do stuff for the trailer, and that's what I kind of mean about the hype of this movie going in versus the opinion coming out was not necessarily the product that it's like, man, false advertising. But do you remember those Force Awakens teasers way back when when we saw the first shot of Kylo Ren in the forest?
Yeah, we talked about this last week.
Yeah, and Mark Hamill had recorded a whole piece of dialogue that was kind of a version of his line to Leia in episode 6, where he says, "The Force is strong in my family."
Oh yeah.
I have it. My father has it, and my sister has it, right? Like, and then he ends off with like, "You have that power too," and then it's just like, and then like the emotion swells and the music.
Excited about
that's
very misleading.
Yeah, right. Because then he's like, he doesn't have a single line in the entire movie, and it's it was the kind of the same going into this one too. It's like the hype was real after the cliffhanger, gut wrenching ending of not even seeing Luke in a movie, and then here he is. He's back, and then the movie is what we got, right? Yeah. And it's just like, dude, you know what I mean? So anyway, that's where I'm coming from. But I'm gonna try and find the good things to say about it. So I'll kick us off. I really this was the movie that really turned my opinion around on Kylo Ren. I know I already mentioned that now I kind of like Kylo Ren in Force Awakens now, but when the movie first came out, I was kind of iffy about it. This is the movie that really changed my opinion about him.
Yeah, I feel like in Force Awakens, he was pretty whiny and just like desperately trying to prove himself and very teenage angst.
Yeah.
And in this one, he definitely felt like he became an adult.
Yeah, he kind of aged up a bit.
And he one of the
is it because he wasn't wearing a mask?
I think so. I think so. Yeah.
I mean, the way he acted with the mask in the first movie did feel a little contradictory because he's supposed to have this like persona, but then he'd have these like childish moments.
Yeah.
And in this one, he definitely came across as more serious.
Yeah.
That being said, I liked the mask, so I was a little bummed when it disappeared in this movie.
I don't mind the mask. I mean, he did use it in the movie. It's just like I think he also spent half the movie not wearing it. But yeah, I mean,
he smashes it.
Yeah, it's just the performance you get out of Adam Driver when the mask isn't on is just so good. You know, he's
That's
just
true.
so disturbed.
It
And
would be
like,
a shame to lose that.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have been right. And I don't know. I think we gained something out of his character by not having it in the film. But I also really liked the Snoke battle. I know people give like, you know, criticism on the technicalities of the duel, but it looks cool.
It does look cool.
And I thought that I was genuinely surprised. Like I don't know about you guys, but I hardly ever felt surprised in any Star Wars movie. At least for almost all of them, because for the 3 prequels, we kind of knew generally how it was going to end. And then as far as Force Awakens goes, I was more or less sad when it was over than, you know, and surprised that it wasn't going to continue going because we just got to Luke on the mountain. And it's like, what the heck, you know? So I never had a good surprise. And when they capped off Snoke, I was like, oh man, like this is kind of cool. Like what? Like
now
what is happening? I was
Yeah,
kind of like, I was kind of engaged at that point. I was like,
And-
man, this is interesting.
I
Like,
actually did really like the way they did that too, because now we know it was also Palpatine, but he's so strong in the Force you could like sense what he was doing. So then he made the distraction of going to execute him. I thought that was very clever.
yeah. So yeah, I'll add in more later, but I'll kick us off and start with that. But yeah, let's move on to your. What do you have to say about it?
I enjoyed that they moved Kylo Ren's scar.
Yes, I am too. Actually,
It looks a lot more badass.
The position in the Force Awakens, I don't know what JJ was thinking, man. Like
Maybe he just already had a scratch there, so they just
Yeah.
added more makeup to make it worse.
Yeah, so Adam, we're gonna just cover up the zits on your face there, and just put the put the scar just right there, right above the nose and just over the mouth.
Maybe it's just, they just didn't have time to redo it.
Yeah.
Because the set's too expensive. Who knows?
Thanks, JJ. Appreciate it.
Can I have a mirror to see what it looks like? No.
No.
I will say I really enjoyed the very last. I guess normally you'd think of a story in thirds, but this movie has like fifths. So like the fifth part of a chapter of this film on the Salt Planet. I thought that was cool.
Yeah.
And throughout the movie, the artistic value and like the sets and the lighting and everything, amazing. Every single area they go to has been spot on, beautiful.
Very well shot.
And to that, my favorite place was the Salt Planet. I just thought it was just super cool. The way you actually see the speeders throwing up the sulfur or whatever it is, where they scrape the salt off. I thought it just looked so cool.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Kirk, what about you, man? What's what do you have to say about it?
Well, I enjoyed listening to what you guys had to say, and that was definitely the thoughts I had watching the movie the first 2 or 3, 4, 5 times. But by the 6th time, yeah, there are just a few more. I think for me, like especially after watching Rise of Skywalker, it's just the disconnect between what they were thinking with the stories just makes me really, I guess, confused and like this movie so much less than what I did. I don't necessarily mind as much the character choices, but I think the actually there's one particular character choice, with Luke and everything. Looking back and looking at other mediums of Luke, like for example, like when The Mandalorian hadn't come out yet, like this the 2nd season, where we got to see Luke at the end, and also that episode in Ahsoka as well, or not Ahsoka, in Book of Boba Fett as well with Luke in it. Like we hadn't seen that version of Luke yet on the screen. I think like the only like new medium we saw Luke was in that cutscene in Battlefront, which I think is just like such a cooler representation of Luke as a character than what we got in all of the Rise of Skywalker. But this movie is probably there's definitely a good reason I haven't really gone back to it since then. I do like looking at it. Has like good moments in it, but a movie's not all about like the clippings of like individual scenes. It's about like the whole thing, and the whole thing. I don't want to go and it's been spoken about so many times with so many different perspectives and everything, but it's a bit disappointing. Not Rian Johnson's best work. All right, I'll put it like that.
This is a positive perspective, Kirk.
I'm so confused. Am I doing the positive perspective?
Well, it's up to you. It's up to you. If you feel like you like the movie, then you do the negative.
The opposite of your opinion of the film.
I will say out of all the Star Wars movies, I've had to rank them all. I guess just looking at the 9 this would probably be one of the bottom two. Definitely not my least favorite.
Okay.
Definitely not my least favorite.
So that means you gotta talk positively.
Yeah, you gotta talk about. You gotta do the opposite of how you feel. So if you genuinely,
this has confused the absolute crap out of me. But that's all right. All right.
Oh, you see, but everybody, he's upside down on the other side of the planet. So like, his opposite is really the opposite of the opposite.
Exactly. That's why my brain is just completely fried. Look, you know what? As much as everything I just said, I do find it easier to talk about the better things of this movie. I freaking love the and I'm gonna stick with that because considering I don't like the movie, I'm gonna talk positively about it. And I'll just stick with that. I absolutely love the throne room scene. I don't care about all the breakdowns that people do about how the choreography is like all over the place. I think the build up to that moment and when he slices Snoke in half. I think when she went with and the dialogue that I think you mentioned just before, Blake, how he's like, I think Andy Serkis's performance as Snoke is so good as well. I think that's one of my genuine favorite like twist moments as well. In every movie, like I didn't expect that was happening. It just would have been so much better if that twist moment. No, I can't be negative. I need to stick to being positive about this. I just like that moment. I really love the production. Cool. Oh, it was so cool. I think it was awesome. I was kind of glad that I was sitting there, I remember in the theater being like, oh, great. We're not just going to get like another emperor. Like Kylo is Darth Vader and the Emperor is the Emperor, or Snoke's the Emperor. So I was really glad when that happened. And I love the production design of that whole room and everything. And then when they go down to Crate, the theme of red throughout this whole movie, I think is really awesome as well. A lot of the visuals and everything. There was a very small few moments in some of the other movies where I was like, oh, that moment visually, like I feel like is incomplete from like a graphics perspective, but like so much of this movie I think looks so good. I'm trying to think of other positive things I can say. Let's go around the table.
Yeah, we'll go around.
Let's go around the table. Let's go. I'm still trying to orientate myself down here, down under. So
I know I can sense that was painful for you, so I appreciate it. All right, Dan.
I'm still not grasping the rules.
All right, Dan. Have at it, man.
Okay. One thing that rewatching it today really bothered me was Canto Bight. Like to me, once they get there, it kind of drags the whole movie down. They have this like they're trying to save the resistance, and they're like spending all this time walking around a casino, and it's like kind of heavy-handed in its message, like, oh, look at these rich people, like, the opulence and luxury and just greed. And I'm like, it just dragged down the movie from like everything else that was going on. And it kind of goes on for a long time. So yeah, that whole chunk I could have done without or just done differently. Once I get outside of the casino, it's fine. But
I do wonder how the movie would play if it was edited with like a big chunk of Canto Bight taken out. I feel like it would help the pacing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it would.
Yeah, like I liken it to like Lord of the Rings. I like the books Lord of the Rings until like big issue with the first book was when they go and stop at Tom Bombadil's house, and to me that drags like that whole book down. It's like you have this big important mission to do, and you're going to spend all this time doing side quests, and it's like and the payoff for them finding DJ, I'm like, it's just like kind of a useless character that didn't really bring much to the movie.
I bought the Marvel one shot for that. What a waste of money.
Does it make his character any more likable?
No, dude. No way.
The Marvel one shot for what?
They did a one shot comic for DJ before The Last Jedi came out.
Benicio del Toro's character.
Yeah, you remember the?
No, I gotta be positive about that guy.
Yeah, I do too. But man, don't bother with the $4.
Okay.
Yeah. Matt, have at it, man.
Number one, I don't know what you guys are talking about. It was amazing. The cinematography, number one, brilliant. The color grading on it was fantastic and just gorgeous. The theme of red throughout it. The Kylo and Rey fight scene on the throne and with Snoke, pretty dope. It was pretty amazing. You can't deny the love you feel between Finn and Rose, and Canto Bight, amazing. Love it. There's the little Jedi kids, little kids that have the Jedi powers, hinting at something maybe in the future that can happen.
Oh, you're talking
the
about
backstory of Rey.
The last shot of the movie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Gets us a little excited for the future of the franchise. And then backstory of Rey, you cannot deny. You cannot deny the backstory of Rey is just absolutely brilliant.
Not till next movie.
I know, I kind of agree with you because, like, to me, that was actually a highlight as well. Was that kind of
you're nobody?
Yeah, kind of
Right.
like the Snoke thing, where it threw like a wrench of a curveball in the predictable Star Wars template. Which, of course, coming off the back of Force Awakens, which felt very much like Episode 7, I feel like a lot of people going into this movie is like, okay, sure, dark tone, we're going to see some possible bad ending, someone's going to lose a hand, so on and so forth, right? I don't think anyone expected, we're going to cap off the big baddie, and also, we're also going to find out that the entire plot line of like, who is she, is actually just going to be like, guess what? She's nobody. And I was like,
the twist is no twist at all.
Oh man, coming off the back of Force Awakens, as hyping that up, as well as the predecessor to that being the prophecy of the chosen one with Anakin. I feel like we got that story. It was cool, and this is a different character, and I want something else for this character, and I actually really really like that choice, which was, what if she is nobody? What if all of this sort of idea about her having to be somebody special actually doesn't need to mean anything? Anybody could.
I remember when it came out, you actually were pretty behind that decision as well.
Yeah, when it came out, I was always like, yeah, this was a great decision to make. But then, of course, the next one after undoes all of that. But whatever.
From your favorite director.
Ah, jeez, man, JJ comes back. Yeah, no, it's got to be it's got to be a certain way.
What's Ryan's line?
Your J.J. Abrams is like a mixture of Dave Filoni and George Lucas if I had a child.
Yeah, it sounds like a mixture of both, but like kind of like a nervous Nilly, like very high anxiety.
Whole time, I was like, is he doing Dave or is he doing George? I can't figure it out.
It's mystery box.
Yeah.
You seen his TED Talk on the mystery box?
Of course he did a TED Talk on the mystery box.
What did you talking about? J.J. Abrams did a TED Talk on the only genre he ever does? Really?
Yes.
The problem is he never has a good answer for the mystery box.
Yeah.
You ever watch Lost?
What's the mystery?
Yeah, exactly. Lost was never.
I'm not following what the mystery box is. I'm out of.
You want to explain that? You want to explain what that is?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. All right.
You're the one who watched the TED Talk.
Yeah.
A long time ago. It was before Force Awakens. Talk about how like the movie theater means so much to him, and it's like this mystery box when you go into it, and so many.
I've heard of this. Yeah.
It's about story. It's like a storytelling lecture, which was pretty good. And I remember at that time too. I was like, okay, all right, I think I'm okay with him doing Force Awakens. Like, okay, because I know he can start things really well, but he just can't really finish them.
Like Lost. Yeah.
And originally they'd set it up that way. Originally he was the guy setting it all up, and then he was not going to be the one to finish it, and then he was.
Isn't that funny?
All right, Darian, cap us off here. Where are you coming from on this?
I absolutely love the intro to this. It's so great. It starts out a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and then you get the Star Wars pulling back. I'm just teasing. I love the intro to Luke. It's not what I wanted to see from Luke Skywalker. His ultimate personality is supposed to be like relentlessly positive. So getting to see him negative, while I did enjoy like the humor of him chucking the lightsaber and everything, that was a bit challenging, and I've got mixed feelings about how they got to the end with him in this. So that was cool that they kind of started out in a position we didn't expect and then kind of earned it by the end.
Oh yeah, and just as a reminder to everyone, which side are you coming from, and like which side are you picking on this?
We needed more positives.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. So what else should I say? What else do you like about the movie then?
I loved the comedy. There's a couple things that didn't hit, but this probably had the best comedy in the 3 sequel movies.
I feel like it had the most comedy for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely. Between Poe as well. Poe was really good.
Mm-hmm. And the one that it took me 2 viewings to even realize that it was a joke was when they did the iron that made it look like a ship taking off.
Oh yeah, a Spaceballs reference.
Yeah,
editing.
Was that from
comedy.
Spaceballs? I forgot that.
I think there's a couple scenes in Spaceballs where like, or maybe some other show where like they do that joke where you think it's something else, and then it ends up being the iron. I think I want to throw in, I'm being the positive side still, but I'm going to be on the positive defensive side of it. And I know that this movie gets a lot of criticism to like where it went, I guess, coming from The Force Awakens, particularly with Luke. But defending this movie, I also feel like he was kind of like wrapped into a bit of into a hole, cornered into a, sorry, what's that term when you get stuck into a bit of a corner? You run into a corner or something, you got no,
just corner.
Backed into a corner, thank you. Backed into a corner. Being like, oh, like all throughout The Force Awakens, Luke refused to come out. So it made sense for him to be a bit of a hermit and explain why. So that's the part that I always struggled to be to be negative towards, being like, oh, this movie was really bad to Luke because of that. But then I think that's probably why I watched it a few times and kind of ignored the criticism to begin with, because I always felt that in The Force Awakens he was unnecessarily put aside, and then you had to kind of write a story and make it reasonable for why he wouldn't want to go out, and hence that would affect his character as well. But does that count as a positive? Like I'm defending
for sure.
Negative, I guess.
I totally agree with that. And I've, and in my own criticism towards The Force Awakens, like I always felt that as well, like it was wind up and pitch, and it's like, how are you going to continue the story? Like the last scene of that movie is what you have to go off of. And how are you going to write that and carry the torch? And so, I also feel like, the plot line of Luke was kind of, in a way, just dealt it to him. So I kind of, in a way, in my own way, think of that as a Force Awakens attribute that was just passed through, because like, I mean, how else are you going to explain the look on his face? When Rey gives him the lightsaber, why is he just standing there? And, it's just like, okay, I think that was not necessarily a Last Jedi thing, but I loved seeing Mark Hamill back. I think one of the highlights of the movie for me is honestly seeing a bit more of Yoda. That was like a character that
was cool.
Came to him in a time of need.
Yoda,
yeah, like he comes to him in a time of need in Empire
and Jedi texts.
Page turners, they were not. And I feel like he
definitely has some of the best lines. Out of all of Yoda's lines in this movie.
And I thought it was kind of cool. We were able to see a Force ghost like summon a lightning strike.
Yeah, they could do stuff.
Yeah, and I was like, dude,
and yet they choose not to help most of the time.
But of course Yoda knows the books are no longer in the tree when he lights it up, and he's just trying to he's obviously testing Luke in his old Jedi ways. And I think that whole sequence was really just like the most Star Wars feeling to me. It feels like, even though you're looking at Mark as an older man now, it just feels like you're looking at young Luke again when he's sitting there next to Yoda, and Yoda's instructing him and telling him why he's wrong, like why he shouldn't be looking at things the way he's looking at them. It does make me wonder why the heck didn't he come to him earlier? But like, it's like, okay, for the purpose of the movie,
off from the Force.
Yeah, like for the purpose of the movie, I'm like, this was really.
He does really have one of my favorite Yoda quotes. Like when he says like he's talking to Luke on the perspective of being like the master, where he's like, we are what they grow beyond. That is the true burden of all masters. I think that was one of my favorite lines in the whole movie. And also, I think it also pretty much encompasses all of Star Wars as well, particularly, especially like the prequels, like what happened to Anakin and Obi-Wan, and then obviously Luke with Obi-Wan in the original trilogy, and then I don't know what happened in the sequels, but still, I think it's a good line. I think
it is. It really also adds a lot of depth to, I guess, that those final moments of the second Anakin versus Vader duel, or I mean the second Obi-Wan versus Vader duel, on that moon in the Obi-Wan Kenobi show. Really hits hard when you think about it like that, because obviously Obi-Wan would take some blame for I guess the downfall, right? Like that's of course something, and Luke is going through that. He's going through the same thing, and so in a way, it's like I can see that being why, like, being traumatic for him, like why he decided to leave. And it's nothing that we haven't seen Obi-Wan do. Of
He
course,
went hiding as well.
Yeah, and he was hiding as a hermit in a cave. And
I guess you could argue that's where he was influenced. Right?
Yeah, and Luke was the one that kind of he saw hope in Luke. That was Obi-Wan's redeeming moment, as well as Leia, like rescuing her as a little girl, but mostly like, when Luke comes of age, like that's kind of the
makes you wonder then if Luke had, similar to Ben, started turning to the dark side or whatever, what would Obi-Wan have done? Would he have done the same thing, given up like Luke did?
Yeah, I don't know.
Because he seems like, depending on when it happened, he was certainly in the same mental space to have gone that route. We meet him during the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Right, yeah. And the way I look at it, I mean, I think Rey is kind of like the role that Luke filled for Obi-Wan. But of course, at first he comes at it from a bitter point of view. And then I think by the time we see his redemption at the end of the film,
I disagree. I would say it was Leia, because that's what happened in the Obi-Wan Kenobi series.
Yeah, well, there's that too. Yeah, I mean, I feel like that kind of got him on his feet again as well. Yeah. But I mean, Luke is in the movie too, just like, but it was probably Leia that's true.
Actually, speaking of Leia in Rise of Skywalker, I love it when the original message comes up.
Yeah, that was cool.
In the Falcon.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed how that's what convinced Luke to actually train or start to at least help Rey at least a little bit, start to creak the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I guess it makes me ask the question, like, how else could the script have gone in order to preserve what people think was Luke's like character essence, but logically explain, I guess, why he was a hermit on that island and refused, given that Kylo Ren was was Leia and Han Solo's son. I'm not sure at that point whether or not we knew that what Kylo Ren did. I guess technically we hadn't yet. So how else could Luke's character been written but still explain why he decided to stick around on that island, I guess? I'm not sure. I don't know what the answer is to that, but I'm just playing lawyer for The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
When I don't want to be.
He just hunted to such a degree that he had no other choice, or other people would be harmed. So as opposed to a self-chosen, it was kind of like forced upon him.
Yeah, I guess the only other thing that we did see in The Force Awakens was that the photo of him holding R2-D2 with the fire in the background. That's the only other kind of thing that we got of him.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And do you think he was practicing on the island, like his Force hologram stuff, and just getting stronger in that way? And maybe he's like just roaming around all over the universe as a hologram?
Just doing
I don't
positive
think so.
deeds?
Because he walls himself off from the Force, and he's only does that because he goes back to the Force.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
I think with
did you guys like the hologram thing? I thought that was actually pretty neat.
Yeah, like the Force ghost, but the Force projection, I think is what they called it.
Force projection.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, Force projection.
Yeah, that was.
I absolutely love the mockery he does at the fire. More, and then he's just like, "Is that the best you got?" Flick.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
I know the only time I've ever related to that and wanting more and more is when they asked me for butter on my popcorn.
It's a GIF I use a lot.
More butter.
Yeah. Man, I'm glad some good GIFs came out of that movie. You know what I mean? Like,
we didn't even talk about the Ben with his pants really high.
Oh yeah,
that's this
Ben. This was the Ben Swallow movie.
Yeah, man, that's probably the best thing to come out of this movie.
Oh, that was another one. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Dude, this movie's the best.
Why are we taking the negative side on this? We ought to talk more negative about it, because I feel
it's good.
It's too good of a movie.
Someone's got to take this movie.
I can't think about anything negative.
Yeah, it's too good to talk good about it. We got to start ripping this down. Yeah, I don't know. Dan, do you got anything else, man?
Yeah, speaking of Luke Skywalker, I was fine with everything with him being on the island and him kind of doing the opposite of what like people were wanting up until like when he dies. I kind of wanted more of him in the show, and it really brought it home when he shows up in the Mandalorian series. Like I'm like, oh man, that's what was missing. Luke just coming in and kicking ass and showing like how strong of a Jedi he is. And you got a little bit of that with the Force projection, but like what we saw in the Mandalorian episode that he shows up in was like really what I thought was missing from the movie.
Yeah, I agree as well.
I hated that he died.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, no one wants to see him die, right? Like it's obviously a really sad part of the saga.
I could see they're maybe worried that he would steal the show in the next movie because people love him so much.
Yeah,
but,
you know, to this day, when Obi-Wan dies, I'm never sad. Like,
right.
But you'd think that I would be, right? But it's just the context of the scene doesn't make it a sad thing. It's always just like, no, and then Luke, come on, you know, it's like. And then
run, Luke, run.
And then instantly you hear his voice, and it's like, oh, where is he? Like, you know, he must not be dead after all. But yeah, I mean, when Luke dies, it's different. It's like a whole nother like, oh wow, yeah, this is it. You know, we've lost 2 out of the 3.
I got a question then. The first time you watched Star Wars movies, what was the order you watched them in? Because as a kid, I felt no emotional connection to Obi-Wan Kenobi. So when he dies, it's kind of like, well, they prepped me enough to know that he's going to be more powerful and help Luke better as a ghost. So
yeah. I agree. I forget. I always thought, because like I guess when I started watching Star Wars, Phantom Menace had just come out, so I feel like I had watched just 4, 5, and 6, and then 1. I think it was around that time that then I think when Episode 1 finally came out on VHS, like, you know, I was able to finally watch that, and I was thoroughly confused. You know, because there was 2 missing chapters. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it was the same for me. Like there was no emotional connection at all, you know, in A New Hope for me with Obi-Wan, and
which is a pretty big difference to compare that to,
to
Luke in this.
But I guess even
like
later though, even later with
movies.
like with the prequels, I'm still like, whenever I watch that scene, and even the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, and I watch that scene, I'm like, yeah, I don't know, I'm just not feeling it, you know, like it's just kind of passes me by. I'm like, yeah, it's fine, it's all good. See him in the next movie.
Did you feel that way about Luke?
No, I didn't. I like when he dies, I was like, man, this sucks. Like this is sad.
But you know what also adds to that is knowing that Carrie Fisher had passed away.
Yeah, I think
so
there was.
Then,
yeah,
at that
for
point,
sure.
Han's dead, Luke's dead, and Carrie Fisher is no longer.
Yeah, and you know that's the thing. Is like I knew he would be back. I knew Mark Hamill would be back in the next movie. Like even if he played some small role, I knew that he would be back. There's no way that he wouldn't be back, right?
Right.
And especially as a Force ghost, I knew that. And especially right after the line, he's like, "See you around, kid," and then he just, you know, and then he dies, right? And it's like, of course he's gonna be back, right? But it was still really sad because of the context that it plays out in. So that's why I, you know, think that way. But does anyone have anything else to throw at this movie before we wrap it up?
Adam Driver really showed his chops as an actor. There's such variation in how he approached his character in this movie. So like he really did steal the show, even though it was not really his movie.
Yeah.
No, for sure. I agree.
For sure.
Yeah, that's true.
A lot of it.
You think Mando?
Is pretty.
You think Mando's not going to wear a helmet the whole time?
Oh, in the new
it's
movie,
like Kylo did his helmet. Yeah, in the new movie.
Well, in the new trailer, he gets it taken off. So I don't know. I think we're going to see him at least once or twice without the helmet on. But
I think part of that also is the actor doesn't want his face covered all the time now, right?
Well, probably not. I mean, wants to show that
he just
Pedro
wants
Pascal.
Yeah, man, he's a big actor now.
Yeah.
He wants a paycheck
now
more than a
ever,
voice actor.
I feel like more than ever now, I want to see him less out of the helmet, because I just look at I see every single other character that he's played, which is like in every single other movie in the last like few years. But before I thought it was really like that episode with Bill Burr in Mandalorian when like he took off his helmet, like that was like really significant.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he took off his helmet at the end of season 2 as well, like it was significant. But now everyone just takes off their helmets whenever they want.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, you're gonna pay me $10 million and you're just gonna cover it up with the helmet.
They should have just casted me. I would have charged him only $1 million to just keep the helmet on.
Yeah.
I would have done it for $10.
Oh.
This is the way.
And Bo-Katan got to walk both ways. Remember that?
Dan, you got any last minute things to say about Last Jedi before we wrap it up?
Maybe just like it bothered me a little bit of how like drastic they changed like their force powers, like the force projections and like them seeing each other through each other's mind, like Ren and Kylo Ren and Rey, like being able to talk to each other just like at random times. Like I know it worked for the story, and it was revealed that Snoke was the one that made that happen. But it just seemed like everybody was like the Force's powers were super strong in this movie, and we're seeing like things that never really showed up before.
Okay, yeah, I see
That was part
that
of
kind of bothered me a little bit.
That's part of what bothered me about Yoda's line about like we are what they grow beyond. It was kind of like, hey, we know that you don't like that Rey's more powerful than Luke by the end of Return of the Jedi, and she's like 2 weeks into using the Force. Just deal with it. That was kind of why I didn't like that line.
Alrighty, great.
I do just want to add that even though I wish it was more, I'm glad we got the number of scenes with Carrie Fisher that we did.
Yeah,
because she wasn't really in the first movie, like Force Awakens.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, so I think we're good for the night. So hopefully everyone's been able to, I guess, accept another side of this movie that perhaps maybe we weren't able to admit before, but.
Here's hoping we change some opinions out there.
Yeah.
Great talk, everybody. Great talk.
Great talk. Yeah, good game. All right, let's do one transition out. We got one more surprise at the very end. You know what's happening next, so let's get into it.
I don't think Kirk does.
I don't think Kirk does either.
I don't have any idea what anything's going on.
I'm so excited.
He's just tired of being upside down all the time.
The blood's rushing to my brain.
Yeah. All right, Blake, you want to explain what this is?
Sure. So as we've been traveling the galaxy, we've been going planet to planet, stopping at public libraries. And believe it or not, at the last one, I came across this strange journal. And it says that it is the lost journal of Darth Vader, also known as Anakin Skywalker.
Oh man, it's crazy. Like reading about these characters is just it's like opening up,
stepping back in time.
It's opening up my mind to a whole new side of these characters I never knew existed.
Man, who knew that so much could happen in the mundane?
Yeah, crazy. So that being said, Kirk, what's a ridiculous situation that you could imagine Anakin and Obi-Wan getting up to?
Well, funny you say that, because I reckon there is a 1 hour scene cut out of Attack of the Clones where Obi-Wan actually took the death sticks and they went on a massive bender with Anakin in the streets of Coruscant. And like, I reckon it got so bad that Anakin had to carry Obi-Wan home, and it was Anakin looking after Obi-Wan because he just puffed too many of them sticks of death. So that's, I reckon, one of the
3 years. That
I reckon. Oh yeah. That's what I reckon. I reckon they got up to some massive night outs on the town, and that's all I can say to that. I reckon they probably would have taken a few cheeky pointers from Kiadi Mundi as well, and I'll leave it there.
All right. Well, let's see if there's a chapter.
What kind of a segment is this?
I'm going to keep my mic on so you can hear me now.
Okay, all right. So, well, I mean, here, Blake, pass me one of those. Pass me the book over there, because this is the book we're reading from. Yeah, that one right there. Yeah, just. Okay,
wait,
great.
was I supposed to? Is this actually like?
All right.
Yeah. Are there actually?
So, yeah, I'm sure there's a chapter in this book somewhere. Hold on.
Let me look for this one.
Yeah, Kirk, this is real. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. There we go. I got the page up. Okay. So this chapter is called The High Ground, literally. The setting, a neon-drenched, pulsing chaos of the Outlander Club on Coruscant. Thumping bass shakes the floor. Anakin is trying to blend into the shadows, while Obi-Wan is currently staring at his own hands as if they are sentient beings from another dimension. Oh man. Okay, hold on a second. Let's just make this even more immersive. Okay, yeah, here we go.
I'm so confused.
Man, this cantina they're in is crazy.
It's a club.
Anakin grabbing Obi-Wan's shoulder. Master, I stepped away for 2 minutes to talk to a contact. What happened? Why are your pupils the size of thermal detonators?
Oh, Anakin, the colors. Have you noticed the colors? That sleaze Bogan old fellow here offered me a multi-sensory wisdom stick. Oh my. He said it would help me see the unifying force. Anakin, I can see the force. It looked like purple glitter with singing a song about biscuits. Anakin, looking horrified, looking at the empty glowing tube on the table. You took death sticks? You told him to go home and rethink his life, and then you took his inventory? You're high, Master. You are incredibly, dangerously high. High? No, dear boy, I'm elevated. I am the high ground. I am the ground. I'm the high ground. I can feel the floor vibrating against my boots. It's telling me a secret. It wants me to express myself. Oh yeah.
Oh no.
No, Master, no expressing. We're on a mission. We're Jedi. We represent them. Oh, Master, stop unfastening your utility belt. It's too restrictive, Anakin. The fabric. It's a cage for my soul. Look at those Twi'lek performers on the main stage. Their movement. It's a poem, Anakin. I must join them. I must contribute to the literature of the dance. Obi-Wan, no. Don't take your clothes off. You're a member of the High Council. If a holocam catches you doing the mid-air somersault into a burlesque stage, Yoda will make us scrub the vents for a decade. Wilderness. I am the creature of the wild, Anakin. Watch me soar. As he says, as he rips off his tunic.
Oh no.
We aren't soaring, Master. You're stumbling towards a giant vat of glowing green liquor. Stay in your robes. Oh, freedom! Leaps to the stage, landing right behind two confused dancers. He begins a series of slow, rhythmic, shockingly dramatic, interpretive dance moves involving a lot of finger snapping and hip thrusting. I'm going to fall to the dark side right now. It's the only way to escape this embarrassment. Citizens, see the light. Feel the vibe. Oh, Anakin, come and join the flow. The Force is spicy tonight. That's it. We're going home. I'm telling everyone you were hit by a Trandoshan neurotoxin. Oh, Anakin, you're so rigid, Anakin. You need to rethink your life. All right, there we go.
Wow, I can't believe there's a chapter on that in there.
I have so many questions. I don't want the answers to the questions, but I've got so many of them.
All right. Well, that was amazing. All right. Well, thank you, fellas.
Did you dictate prompt my suggestion and then generate a story off of it?
There's a journal that we found.
Yeah, it's all from the journal, man. It's all pre-written. It's established lore.
Clearly, I wasn't just making it up, and I obviously had read such descriptive
must have been a
stories
rumor going
in the
across
past.
the galaxy.
And now I have a very, very clear image of Obi-Wan Kenobi doing the helicopter on top of the stage in Attack of the Clones.
Well, that's what we're here for,
with no robes on.
Yeah, that's right. Shirtless on stage.
Nothing but his Jedi loincloth.
Nothing but his Jedi pants and boots. Minus the belt, of course. Oh boy!
I'm pretty sure that show is going to come to a Disney cruise liner in 2028.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Well, at the very least, they have a free audiobook that they were able to tune into here on Star Wars Escape Pod. That's about 2 minutes long.
I think it'll be the next animated series, Untold Tales of the Jedi.
Yeah, exactly. One of you guys or two of you guys suggested it recently that we got to snip those out and make make some YouTube shorts or something out of those. I think
Released
we'll.
audio
Yeah,
clips,
100%.
playlist.
Yeah.
Wait, there's more.
Oh yeah, there's
Oh yeah, the whole series.
I've been away. I've been away for too long.
There's been about
totally.
He's missing about 5 or 6 episodes, I think,
Yeah,
or chapters.
in
Yeah,
his journal. Yeah.
yeah, it's
The locker
crazy.
room one's one of my favorites when he's putting on his pants.
Yeah. Oh man, Anakin trying to get on his pants and Obi-Wan with his really massive fat wallet. I think that one was crazy.
There's all his casino chips.
What is this escape pod turned into? It just turned into this Star Wars sexualized podcast.
What are you talking about? Yeah, dude, you're the one with the story.
I leave you guys for 3 weeks, and it turns to this.
That's right.
No parents in the room, baby.
Yeah.
This is almost as bad as when when Filoni slipped on the banana pill and he couldn't announce the winner to the
Oh yeah.
to the show.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember slipping on any peel of any kind, Kirk, but you know.
It's not his fault that the drum set was across the room.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's not Dave's fault.
Yeah, thanks, guys. All right, see ya.
All right. Well, big thank you to Dan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Kirk and Matt and Darian. I guess we will. Well, I'll see you in the next one. But as we want to close out before you all say goodbye, maybe I don't know. Do you have any closeout statements? I know we got one from Darian and Kirk usually has one.
Do you
but
have any clothes on?
do you have any clothes on? Why don't we? Yeah. We'll all close out with our clothes out.
Oh no.
All right. Here, let's get those closeout statements. Kirk, where's your donut statement, man?
Wait,
waiting to hear from Texas Diner.
was that me? Sorry, I was stuffing my face.
He's busy taking off his tunic.
No, I didn't know that was a director. Well, if whatever's left of me, you can come find me down dunking a dozen donuts at Dex's Diner with some death sticks with Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm gone. I'm out of here.
All right. Thank you guys for coming on as usual, and we will see you in the next one.
See you out there. Keep flying.
I have spoken.
All right, and thank you so much to our audience for tuning in. Definitely tune in next week to hear another fun adventure with Anakin and Obi-Wan, as well as more about Maul Shadowlord. We got our after show coming out when that show comes out, I guess within a week later. And it's going to be fun. It's going to be an awesome one. We'll catch Kirk Swallow in another episode near you. So, definitely tune in for that.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm agreeing to things I had no idea about.
Alrighty. Well, Thank you all for tuning in, and don't forget to check out Orbit Key. Links in the description box below. Also, YouTube links to Design by Kirk's channel, as well as the Mandarin. And if Matt and Dan have any links, we usually put those in as well. But yeah, it's been a while since we actually put a link to Dan's book in there, so maybe we'll drop that in this week. But yes, look forward to more episodes from us. Send us an email, swescapepodcast@gmail.com, and follow us on the Twitter, the YouTube, using the handle @swescapepodcast. May the Force be with you, and we'll see you in the next one.